What's up, everybody? It's Will again, and we're back here with another positive list. We're going to save that shit, the top 10 worst of 2016, for after this list. This is the top 10 most anticipated movies for 2017, here on The Will West Show.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
It's Will! So, for this list, I went to a few movie websites just to see what was upcoming this year in 2017, obviously, or else I couldn't anticipate this. Some of them I know from trailers, some of them I have not even heard of, or just have heard little rumblings about. So some of these movies might not even come out in 2017, unfortunately. So we're going to kick things off with some quick honorable mentions. First off, I picked Patriots Day. This movie technically came out in December 2016, but wide release is 2017, so it can be Oscar worthy and all that stuff. And I know it's coming out fairly soon, so that's why it's here on honorable mentions. I love the team up of Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg. I like Deepwater Horizon. Lone Survivor has some moments that are really intense, and I don't think that's everybody's cup of tea, but it's still remarkably good. So I'm really excited to see this. And guys, I know, even though I'm a Patriots fan, I know it doesn't revolve around the Patriots. It just takes place around the Boston Marathon bombings. And I kind of want to see how they tackle this, because this actually happened not that long ago, and some people could think that's distasteful. Some people could see oh hey, they actually put these heroes in the limelight. And I gotta say, if Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg do this throughout the next few years, I would not mind it, because I like seeing some light shed on the heroes of recent tragedies and just how some of these things actually happened. So Patriots Day is here on the honorable mentions, just because of its release date here in January. Next on the list for honorable mentions, I put Cloverfield, The God Particle, or whatever they're going to call this movie. I didn't know anything about this movie initially. I knew that they were talking about this on horror things like Collide of Nightmares, but I had no idea what it was. Then there was an announcement that they're going to put the Cloverfield name on it, so I was like, oh, that could be interesting. I like the Cloverfield movie so far, even though I was a little bit disappointed in 10 Cloverfield Lane, even though it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. But just was disappointed that we didn't further the narrative of the Cloverfield monster and all that stuff. I'm ready to see another Cloverfield movie, not gonna lie. This could be just like Black Mirror, but we get it in the theaters, and I'm really excited for it. I know nothing about it, so it's here in the honorable mentions, that's why. Next, I put Jumanji. I am just kind of curious to see how this turns out in the universe. There's early speculation that we're actually going to go inside the game to see how it actually is in there. They tackled this briefly in the Jumanji cartoon in the 90s. And I love most of the cast here. We got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson again, just he is franchise Viagra. Everybody says that, and yeah, if he can bring enough life to this, we might get a Jumanji cinematic universe. Can you believe that? We can see him jumping from this to Zathura to Monopoly. Who knows? But I'm really excited for this, and this should be a good family release next December. Next, I didn't even know this thing was coming out, but Creed 2 in 2017. I've heard nothing about this, but it was on the list of things that are coming out in 2017, and if they're doing this, they better get the ball rolling, because I've heard nothing about production for this. That's why it's in the honorable mentions, just because I don't know if it's going to come out or not. But if it does, I'm more excited to go into the Rocky universe, because, believe it or not, guys, I didn't watch the Rocky movies initially when I was younger. I know a bunch of guys my age did when they were younger, and oh yeah, Sylvester Stallone's a badass, woo! No, I watched Creed, and just the scene alone when Stallone is at the graves of Adrian and I forget his friend Paulie, that enough told me holy shit, there's a history there. Stallone stole the show right there with that scene here. I'm probably going to tackle that movie individually if Creed 2 is coming out or not. But if nothing else, I need to tackle that movie because Ryan Coogler is an awesome director, and I want to see the Rocky universe furthered with Adonis Creed. And now my last honorable mention is Pitch Perfect 3. Not gonna lie, Pitch Perfect is actually probably one of my favorite comedies of recent years. I had a huge crush on Anna Kendrick, and most of those women in that movie are hilarious. And like I said, good comedies are hard to come by, and that first one was awesome. Pitch Perfect 2 had some hits and misses. I love the addition of Haley Steinfeld. I like the main nerdy kid who likes Star Wars, because let's face it, I am that guy, and he gets Haley Steinfeld. But I'm really excited to see how this trilogy ends, to see if they're going to keep going with this. I like musical stuff like this. I was a huge fan of Glee, and this kind of continues the legacy of Glee and musical projects and a cappella things. It's really awesome. And I want to see what Elizabeth Banks can do with the third one here. At number 10, for most anticipated, I put Saw Legacy. Some of you are going to go, Will, you like those movies? What's wrong with you, man? And yeah, this franchise actually kind of got me more into horror. Even though it's kind of gruesome and kind of weird, I was trying to follow the crime story of what actually happened to the main guy, and why he went so dark and like why he was setting all these traps up and like all the apprentices he has. And it is actually pretty solid until the end. It gets wacky and stupid. Some things don't make sense, some things do, and there's a lot of payoff, and some things were obviously just meant to be in 3D when that was becoming a big thing. And I just want to see how they can top the original 7 movies. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, because when you do something like this, it ends up being bad, like the Chuckies or Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. They either get wacky or stupid. And I just want to return to that universe. That's why it's here at number 10. At number 9, I put John Wick Chapter 2. This movie, I mentioned I had this downloaded, and one of my friends says, it's just downloaded, you haven't watched it yet? I'm like, no. What are you doing? Like he was shaking me, essentially. I watched it, and yeah, holy crap. That first one was really good. The whole concierge, like that little hotel area, seems pretty interesting, and this movie just looks action-packed. And we got Morpheus in this one. We got Morpheus, guys. We got Lawrence Fishburne, and it looks like the action's like cranked up to 11 here, and I'm really excited to see this in February. And John Wick number 2, really excited for this. And number 8, it's kind of a cop-out here, but I put 2 movies here, and they're both, you'll see why here in a minute, but it's XXX, The Return of Xander Cage, and The Fate of the Furious. These are both silly, stupid action movies. Fate of the Furious will at least have some heart, and like they'll try to make sense of stuff in there, but with XXX, The Return of Xander Cage, we had an okay movie with the first XXX, then we had the stupid State of the Union one, and now we're going back to Xander Cage, which makes sense. I mean, that's kind of like what Vin Diesel does. He starts a franchise, does his own thing for a bit, comes back. He did that. He's pretty much done that with almost all of the franchises he's been a part of. So maybe him starting this new team in The Return of Xander Cage will be fun. I see Nina Dobrev and Donnie Yen joining the team with him in this. I don't know if they're necessarily bad, but it looks like they will be joining the team here. If nothing else, it'll be a good popcorn flick for both of these, and I'm really excited to see what Vin Diesel will do in both of these, and I don't know, I'm just really excited for some stupid action movies. At number 7, I put Power Rangers, and everyone's going to go like, why so low? I don't know, just based on recent toy commercials and leaks. Not too thrilled with some designs, like Alpha 5 looks really bizarre. If that design for that toy of Goldar is real and the Megazord is real, I'm not too thrilled with that. But I'm also one to change my mind if I see it in action in the movie, and I don't know, I want to see a new interpretation of the Mighty Morphin era, and I don't know, I'm liking the costumes a bit, and the Zords individually look sweet, so I just want to see what they can do with Power Rangers in this alternate timeline, or whatever they're going to do with it, because the comics have been brilliant right now. If you're not reading the Power Rangers by Boom Studios, what are you doing? Go to a comic book shop, grab that first graphic novel, if they have it, Power Rangers Pink, just pretty much grab anything Power Rangers right now, and I believe they're getting ready to do a Justice League crossover, which, probably not my first choice of who they should team up with, but it's a crossover, could be fun, it could be interesting, but Power Rangers is at number 7. At number 6, I put SpiderMan Homecoming. Tom Holland actually surprised me in Captain America Civil War. I thought he was a bit phoned in a little bit in Civil War, but they made it work, even though like the movie would be about the same with or without him there. It was just fun seeing him interact with all the other Avengers and all the people on Cap's side. He's like, oh my god, you have a metal arm! And just like seeing him be a teenager and be genuinely excited and stuff. It almost reminds me of the Spectacular Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is a decent actor here and actually looks like a teenager, and we're actually going to see like the high school formative years of his life, which, again, Spectacular Spider-Man tackled that, and it was brilliant, it was awesome, and I think Tom Holland can bring a lot of fun stuff here, and we're getting Tony Stark as Iron Man in here. I don't know how instrumental he will be in this, but like they're definitely hyping him up in the trailers, so maybe he'll have just enough action in there for us to be like, oh yeah, like this is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Tony's there, woo! But it looks really fun, and I can't wait for more from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At number 5, I have Lego Batman. And some people, when I told them about my list, they were like, why is that on your list, man? Like, I thought you would like other movies more or be more excited for other things. And like, yeah, I am to a degree, but I'm glad we're going back to the Lego universe. I really liked Lego Batman, but played by Will Arnett. He's like kind of like that typical douche. And I like all like the nods they're making to the DC Cinematic Universe and other DC interpretations of Batman. And just it looks like Will Arnett, Michael Cera, and everybody involved are having a lot of fun with this universe. And I'm actually kind of excited to see like what they do with this. Like Lego movie was brilliant, but this movie looks like it's taking all the right cues from that and just like going to take it up to 11, but in the Batman and the DC universe. And I don't want to jinx it, but this may actually be probably one of the better DC released movies that comes out this year, and that's kind of sad to say. So Lego Batman, I'm pretty excited for it. At number 4, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. As you guys saw, I talked about the trailer with my friends James and Kyle, and Guardians of the Galaxy was a big surprise. I'm going like, okay, I'll go see this opening weekend to see if they can actually tackle this and make this good. And I fell in love with this movie. It was awesome. Chris Pratt's an awesome Star-Lord. As much as I want to say I'm Captain America, I'm definitely more probably Peter Quill, kind of being like the Han Solo roguish type. Rocket and Groot are awesome, and now we have a baby Groot, so all of our girlfriends are going to want that, guys. They're all going to want that baby Groot love. We're getting some new additions to the team. Looks like Yondu's finally joining the team. Mantis, and a few others that we haven't seen yet in trailers. And we're getting Ego the Living Planet. Ego the Living Planet. Can you believe that? All comic fans who read Guardians back in the day are going like, that's becoming a thing! Ah! So Guardians of the Galaxy 2, even though it broke the top 5, I am still pretty excited for this movie. And it'll probably be one of my favorites this summer. We'll just have to see. At number 3, I put Logan. This movie... I was jumping between this and Power Rangers, funny enough, to see which would go where. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be sad to see Hugh Jackman go. So that's why it made it this far into the list and it broke the top 5, because this is gonna be the end of the era for the original X-Men universe. But this is gonna be a good topping off of the Fox Marvel X-Men universe, and just for Hugh Jackman's run as Wolverine. Unless Ryan Reynolds has something to say about it, because I guess he's trying to get a Deadpool Wolverine movie in the works going. But even if that does happen, just like you can just say like it's a one-shot adventure that happened in the old timeline. Who cares at this point? Even Deadpool makes jokes about it in his own movie, like, "Hey, you taking me to McAvoy or Patrick Stewart? I'm so confused by like the timeline." So I'm like, that's just if Deadpool can do that with a Wolverine movie, that would be awesome. There's also rumors that Deadpool might show up in this. I wouldn't put it past them to put it in a post-credit scene, because usually that seems to be the moment where they put something that's not even related to the movie that you just watched in this one. Like, even with Days of Future Past, we had that apocalypse thing, which had nothing to do with anything. In the Wolverine that took place in Japan, we had the Days of Future Past Easter egg, which made no sense with everything else that we just went on. So if they put Deadpool in a cameo here at the very end, I would not be opposed to that. But I'm really excited to see this last movie, and it maybe actually will be the final good Wolverine movie that we've all been begging for. At number 2, guys, I got another bit of a cop-out here, and I put the next 2 DCEU entries here with Wonder Woman and Justice League. I'm not gonna lie here, guys. I'm a huge DC fan, and so far, the DCEU's got 1.5 strikes with Batman vs Superman and some of Suicide Squad. So I'm definitely cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic with this universe. Wonder Woman looks awesome. It looks like they took some great cues from Captain America, and they're doing their own thing in World War I. I'm really excited to see that adventure. And Justice League, the more they keep from us, the better, I would think, because when they showed us everything with Batman vs. Superman, everybody was already kind of going and hating it. And we pretty much knew the whole movie. And I'm not going to lie, that's not fun to go into a movie knowing everything about it. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. And also, Justice League is my birthday movie. I think I brought up November with the Harry Potter movies. If they mess that up on my birthday, you will not be forgiven, Warner Brothers. I'm just throwing that out there right now, because if I am going in optimistically going, yeah, it's my birthday, and I come out depressed and super sad about that, I don't know how I'm going to react. I've even joked with friends, we're going to probably go see this movie and it's going to be awful. And I'm going to want to rage, quit and do whatever. I don't know. From everything we're seeing here about Justice League, I'm cautiously excited, but on the same front, I've been burnt with Batman vs. Superman, and I don't want to be burnt again by the DCEU. So now, what could number 1 be? I wonder, what could number 1 be? Oh yeah, it's Star Wars Episode 8. We don't know what it's called yet, and I almost like Adam Driver's idea for not releasing a trailer for this movie at all. We just go into it blank, we just know about stuff from Episode 7, and just little things they told us, little tidbits and all the leaks from other Star Wars sites. I don't know what they're going to call this. If I had to give it a title, I'd call it Star Wars Episode 8, The Wrath of the Knights of Ren, because it's almost very reminiscent of Empire Strikes Back, but it could go a completely different route too. But who knows? I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited to see where the trilogy goes. I'm excited to learn more about Rey. I want to know how Finn came back from getting his back sliced up. I want to see more of Poe, not going to lie. And we're getting some more stuff with Benicio del Toro and Laura Dern. They've been added to the cast. And this will be, unfortunately, one of the last performances we see of Carrie Fisher as Leia. I'm not going to lie, if they do something about her dying, or saying, oh, hey, it's good to see you, Luke. I'm going to miss you, buddy. If they do, a little send-off like that, it was probably unintentional from their point of view, but, it's going to be emotional seeing Carrie Fisher for the last time in this movie. And I think it's going to be a cop-out, but I think almost every time I do a top 10, Star Wars is going to be at the top. So just know, Star Wars will be at the top, but there's going to be another 9 movies behind it. But yeah, guys, that's my top 10 list for the most anticipated movies. What's your most anticipated movies? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, when there's a will, there's a way. Thanks for watching.